Mineshaft. His name conjured up visions of gold and silver and other riches of the earth. And rightfully so, for the deeper you explored within this noble creature, the greater the treasure there was to be found. Like a juggernaut, he swept through the 2003 racing season, growing stronger and more spectacular with each race. He captured one graded stakes after another, and did it with machine-like precision. His symphony of bravura performances reached a glorious crescendo in the prestigious Jockey Club Gold Cup.
What a reaction from the crowd.
We're getting this Mineshaft. This is for Mineshaft as he goes by. He's almost getting a standing ovation as he jogs by the grandstand here. There you take a look at Mineshaft.
They're coming into the final furlong, and it's going to be Mineshaft. Mineshaft, routinely brilliant. He has won the Jockey Club Gold Cup, and he has done it with style.
So dominant did he become that by the fall of the year, he was an overwhelming selection for Horse of the Year honors. Starting in the South in January, the Mineshaft Express steadily made its way north, roaring through Kentucky and Maryland, before concluding its whirlwind journey at Belmont Park in New York City. This is where champions are often crowned, and following decisive victories in the historic Grade 1 Triple, the Suburban Handicap, the Woodward Stakes, and the Jockey Club Gold Cup, there was no doubt that Mineshaft was the king of thoroughbred racing. This beautiful bay son of leading sire AP Indy had accumulated more than $2.2 million in career earnings, while rattling off 7 stakes victories. Racing for the partnership of Ambassador William Farish and co-breeders James Elkins Jr. and Temple Weber Jr., Mineshaft was an immediate success, winning an allowance race at Churchill Downs in his first U.S. start, then capturing another allowance race, followed by a victory in the Diplomat Way Handicap.
Mineshaft, a sparkling performance in the New Orleans Handicap. He wins by 3 lengths.
After winning the New Orleans Handicap, missing the track record by 4/5 of a second, Mineshaft headed north to Kentucky with trainer Neil Howard. In the 9-furlong Ben Ally Stakes at Keeneland, he was set off as the overwhelming 1-5 favorite and ran like it.
It'll be a gold pitcher for Will Farish and a riding title for Robbie Alvarado.
He was the best horse I've ever been on, and probably will be for a while. It's going to be hard to find one like him. I mean, everything he did was a 10, everything you want in a horse.
It was clear Mineshaft was a good horse coming into the Pimlico Special, but I don't think anybody knew how good he was. He hadn't won a Grade 1 race, and he hadn't really been tested at that top level of competition. Now he comes into the Pimlico Special against a very strong field in a very prestigious race, and you throw the extra problem of a sloppy track against him. So what happens? Not only does he wins just like he always has been doing, with ease, with dominance, gives a type of performance where you know this is a special horse. There's no more questions about Mineshaft anymore. This is a very, very good horse, and he proved it in Pimlico Special.
Mineshaft and Robbie Alvarado in a sloppy going at Pimlico to take the Pimlico Special.
He was now a Grade 1 winner and climbing quickly to the top of the older horse division. His 118 Beyer speed figure at Pimlico equaled Congaree highest rating for 2003.
Unbridled vision.
Mineshaft headed into the $750,000 Stephen Foster Handicap at Churchill Downs as America's newest star. A week earlier, Funnyside's Triple Crown hopes had been dashed by Empire Maker in the Belmont Stakes, and all the attention quickly shifted to the older horses. Mineshaft showed the heart of a champion and battled back to be beaten in a photo. Although he was beaten ahead, his reputation actually soared.
Stephen Foster beating out Mineshaft in a stiff drive.
When I jumped off him that afternoon, I said, he won't get beat again. And that was it. That was my statement. I said, it was a big statement. I said, he won't get beat again. I don't care who runs against him. He won't lose again.
Although Mineshaft was a Grade 1 winner and had captured 4 of his 6 starts in 2003, he still had to rebound from his defeat in the Foster and do it against the previous year's runaway Breeders' Cup Classic winner, Volpone, in the historic Suburban Handicap at Belmont Park. Trainer P.G. Johnson had Volpone primed for a big effort, and the fans were looking forward to an epic duel between these two top-class older horses. Volpone looked Mineshaft in the eye, and Mineshaft kicked into another gear. Not only did he burst clear of Volpone in a flash, he did it under a hand ride from Alvarado. In the final furlong, Mineshaft just toyed with Volpone, drawing off to an easy 2 1/4 length victory, while running his final 2 quarters in a swift 24 2/5.
Mineshaft draws away so impressively from a very good horse in Volpone. Mineshaft, a dominating victory.
When he won the Suburban handicap, I mean, he really beat Volpone in that race when Volpone was at his top form, I think. So that was the horse to beat there, and he just handled him so easily. If you remember, the race was Volpone just got up to him and it looked like it was going to be a 2-horse race, and he just left him and again did it easily.
Mineshaft was for real. He now had the respect of rival horsemen, as well as the fans, and the first whispers of Horse of the Year could be heard. His next goal would be the Grade 1 Woodward. Only 4 horses showed up to face him. The main threat looked to be Puzzlement, who was coming off an impressive win in the Saratoga Breeders' Cup, upsetting Volpone. Making the trip from Europe was the Group 1 winner, Hold That Tiger, from the powerful Ballydoyle stable of Aidan O'Brien. Mineshaft had only 1 horse beat down the backstretch, but when Alvarado asked him, the result again was swift and deadly. Hold That Tiger was indeed a tiger on this day, but Mineshaft would crush him with another of his smooth, effortless bursts of speed. Mineshaft turned in one of the fastest final 5 furlongs ever seen in New York, or anywhere for that matter, and his time of 1:46 1/5 for the 1 1/8 was only 2/5 of a second off the stakes record and 4/5 off Secretariat's track record.
The Woodward, I found a remarkable race in the fact that you don't see horses coming home the last 5/8 and 58 1 in a 1 1/8 race in New York and doing it as easily as he did. I mean, if you watch Robbie Alvarado in that race, he was just sitting on him and never, ever asked him to run. And when he throws at final time like he did and comes home in 58 1, and I believe his last 2 fractions were 22-4 and 11-4, and to do it that easily really shows that he's a remarkable horse.
Each victory brought with it a new appreciation for this amazing colt. He could run fast. He could run far. He could beat world-class horses with little effort, and he could run on any kind of surface. He was exuding so much class and displaying such brilliance, he had earned full superstar status and was being compared to recent greats like Cigar and Skipaway.
Mineshaft was the best horse I've ever trained, and I've been very blessed working for the Farishes to have had some very, very nice horses. He had all the talent in the world. He had a magnificent pedigree. I used to term him the perfect horse.
As a homebred on his top and bottom line, Mineshaft was, without a doubt, a special colt to everyone at Lane's End. His sire, AP Indy, won the grueling Belmont Stakes and the Breeders' Cup Classic. Bred by Farish and longtime partner William S. Kilroy, AP Indy sported a Lane's End pedigree through and through. Farish also bred Mineshaft's dam, Prospector's Delight, winner of the Grade 1 Acorn and Ashland Stakes. Prospector's Delight would produce only 5 foals, but amazingly all were stakes winners, including the full siblings to Mineshaft, Grade 1 winner Tommy Sue's Delight, and multiple stakes winner Rock Slide. A half-brother to Mineshaft, Monashee Mountain, is a very promising young sire.
What more could you want in a stallion prospect? He's by the leading sire in the country out of a mare that's only produced stakes winners and from the best female family in the stud book. And besides that, he's a top conformation horse. Obviously a champion racehorse as well.
The hope, the dream, the expectation is that Mineshaft, the top-class racehorse, would carry on the legacy of his great family at stud. But first, there was one more finish line waiting. Gunning for Mineshaft in the Grade 1 Jockey Club Gold Cup would be the brilliant Godolphin colt, Moon Ballad, the convincing winner of the Dubai World Cup, and Evening Attire, who was back for another crack at Mineshaft.
And the race is on as they hit the half-mile pole. Quest in front, Mineshaft coming up on the outside as they round the far turn. Moon Ballad tailing off. 6 lengths back to Stake Shinto, another 5 back to Evening Attire, and there's 3 furlongs remaining. They ran 3 quarters and 11 flat, and Mineshaft has taken the lead. He has done it readily. He is cruising in front. Quest is under an all-out drive. He's already under the whip. And now just just a nudge from Robbie Alvarado, and Mineshaft is on his way. Mineshaft opening up here, 2.5 lengths. Quest giving his all, he's second, and a break of about 7 lengths back to Evening Attire third. They're coming into the final furlong, and it's going to be Mineshaft. Mineshaft, routinely brilliant to win here at Belmont Park once again. He has won the Jockey Club Gold Cup, and he has done it with style.
Today, he is a gift to the folks at Belmont Park and across the country as the best older horse on the planet. It's Mineshaft, your winner.
Well, I wish all of you out there could have been sitting in the crowd with us, because at the top of the stretch, this crowd stood up and just started applauding. They knew the race was over.
I got goosebumps there. He got such a great rousing reception as he turned for home, and Robbie Alvarado asked him the question. He responded right away, solidifying his case for Horse of the Year.
Mineshaft was the first horse since Kelso in '61 to win the Suburban, Woodward, and Jockey Club Gold Cup in the same year, and the only 2 horses that have ever done it.
I think Mineshaft was really a special horse. He was a throwback kind of horse who had a really classical 4-year-old campaign, and he ran 7 consecutive races that earned a Beyer speed figure between 114 and 117. You just don't see that kind of consistent quality in American racing very much anymore.
The Gold Cup would be Mineshaft's final start, as a small chip in his right front ankle forced the colt's retirement. He had won 7 of his 9 starts in 2003, with 2 seconds, while amassing career earnings of $2,283,402. He was crowned Horse of the Year and Champion Older Male. The Blood Horse wrote, "Mineshaft is a classic racehorse with a fantastic pedigree, and it would be difficult to find a more promising or valuable stallion prospect anywhere."
He's caught the imagination of so many people. And for us, it's the greatest horse we've ever had. He's going to make a great stallion.